Hi, welcome back to Masechet Ta'anit. We're going to start from the very bottom of Zayin Amud Bet, picking up from where we left off in class. We ended by discussing this pasuk in Kohelet, which the Gemara was using to speak about why at certain times it doesn't rain, but now the Gemara is going to take this pasuk in a new way. Im keheha barzel v'hulo fanim kilkal v'chayali migaber v'yitron hachsher chochma. So the translation here in English is something about if the iron is blunt and it isn't sharpened, then you have to put more strength to it, and wisdom is better. The Gemara is going to take this in a very different direction than we've seen before. So going back into the Gemara, again at the bottom of Zayin Amud Bet, starting from Reish Lakish. Reish Lakish Amar, Imra Itza Talmid, turning the page, Shlemudo Kashe Alav Kabarzel, Bishvil Mishnato She'ina Stura Alav. If you see a student whose learning is as hard upon him as iron, he's struggling with learning, that's because his Mishnayot, his learning, is not arranged correctly. He hasn't got all the ideas organized in his head. He doesn't know the Mishnayot well. Shine Amar, and then it quotes from this pasuk, V'hu lo fanim kilkal, that things are not sharp, have not been sharpened. Ma'ita kante, how can this be fixed? How can he fix it? Yerbeh b'yeshiva. The student should sit a lot, should sit and work on it. Shnei amar, v'chayalim migaber v'yitron hechsher chochma. That if you work hard, you can overcome it, and wisdom is what's going to overcome. So just sitting still and learning is what will do it. Kol shekani mishnato stura lo mi'ikara. How much more so if his learning is organized from the beginning, meaning even if things were going well overall, this sitting still and working on it will still help. Ki ha de Reish Lakish, just like that of Reish Lakish, just like what Reish Lakish used to do. Hava mesader matnitin arba'in zimnin keneged arba'im yom shnitna Torah. He would organize the Torah in his head, or go over the Mishnayot 40 times, corresponding to the 40 days in which the Torah was given. Va'ayal lakamed Rabbi Yochanan. Only then would he go before Rabbi Yochanan, his teacher. Rav Ada bar Ahava mesader matnitin esrin va'arba zimnin. Rav Ada bar Ahava would organize the Mishnayot in his mind 24 times, keneged Torah nevi'im v'ktuvim, corresponding to the 24 books of Tanakh, the Ayal Kame de Rava. And then he would go before Rava. Rava Amar, Rava says, Imra'ita Talmid Shali Mudo Kashe Alav Kabarzel. If you see a student whose learning weighs upon him like iron, right? It's not going well. Bishvil Raboshe Eino Masbir Lo Panim. Because his Rav is not pleasant to him. It doesn't like him, kind of. Shnei Amar V'hu Lo Panim Kilkal. This pasuk again. But this time picking up on the word panim to mean face. Ma'ita kante, how can he fix this? Yerbeh alav re'im. He should get lots of friends, presumably friends to go and sort of help the teacher come to like him, colleagues. Shnei amar, as it says, v'chayalim migaber v'yitron hechsher chochma. That, they can overcome it, and chokhmah is what's going to help overcome it. But chayalim, it's the plural, so many people together can work on this. Kol shekanim huchshru ma'asav bifnei Rabbo mi'ikara. And how much more so if he behaved well in front of his Rav from the beginning, meaning if this problem never happened, his learning would succeed all the more so. The Amar Rabbi Ami, my dichtiv, what is the meaning of this pasuk? Im yeshulchan achash b'lalachash ve'en yitron leba'al halashon. So this is also a pasuk from Kohelet, whose meaning is not directly relevant to the way that it's going to be used here. But if the serpent bites someone before it gets charmed, before it gets, whispered to, then there's no advantage to the person who did the whispering. The charmer has no advantage if he bites first. Imra ita dorsha hashamayim mishatkin kinachoshet milahoritz halumatar bishvil ochshei lechishot she'ein bador. If you see a generation where the sky is hard, like Nechoshet, and it doesn't, like, it's like metallic, and it doesn't no dew or rain comes down. That's because of the whisperers that don't exist in that generation, meaning there are no people who are good at tefillah. Ma'ita kantan, how can they fix this? Yalchu etzal mi sheyodea lilchosh. Then they need to go to somebody who knows how to pray. They need to find someone. Tichtiv yagid alav re'o. As it says in Eov, this pasuk, which we're going to see in context here, Yagid alav re'o, this translates it as the noise tells about it, and then the continuation, mikneh af al oleh, that the cattle also about the storm that's going to come up. But the idea here is this Yagid alav re'o, you have to go find somebody who can help with the praying if there isn't anyone yet to do the praying in that generation. Ve'en yitaron lebal halashon, and then the end of this pasuk, the previous pasuk that was quoted from Kohelet, ve'en yitaron lebal halashon, that there's no advantage to the person who did the whispering if he gets bitten first. If a person is able to do this kind of praying and doesn't, then what good is that to him? What benefit does he get? But what if he prayed and he wasn't answered? Then how should he fix that? The person should go to a righteous person of the generation, and should pray a lot. So this pasuk from Eov, which is the previous pasuk from what we saw before, put it in yellow, and the Gemara is going to again translate this out of context. We can see it down here. Al kapayim kisa or, that he covers his hands with light or lightning, it says here, and gives it. This says a charge that will strike the mark, but this word mafkia is apparently there are different ways to translate it. The ein pigia el tefillah. There is no this word pigia can only mean prayer. Shene'emar, as it says, v'ata al titpalel ba'ad ha'am hazeh. This is a pasuk from Yirmiyahu that you shouldn't pray for this nation. This one is not taken as much out of context. Al tisab adamrina tefillah v'al tifgabi. And don't sort of pray on their behalf. The al tifgabi, God speaking, don't tifga to me, right? Don't bother me, maybe, but it's not how the Gemara interprets it. Right? The idea is don't pray to me. It's parallelism. And if the person prays and it works, and then he gets very arrogant because of it, that brings anger to the world. Shene'emar mekaneh af al oleh. So this pasuk that we saw before, and the idea is that the idea here is that this kind of haughtiness or feeling glad because you did this brings anger to the world. That's not a direct translation of the pasuk, but that's how it's being used. Rava Amar, Shnei Talmidei Chachamim sheyoshvin be'ir achat ve'ein nochin ze leze b'halacha mitkanin ba'af u'ma'alin oto. If there are two Talmidei Chachamim, two scholars who live in the same city, and they're not nice to each other, they don't engage one another in halacha, rather presumably they fight in some way, then they cause anger to come to the world, and they bring it upon themselves. Shene'emar mekaneh af al oleh. So again, bringing up this pasuk, that's what happens when you have two Talmidei Chachamim who don't engage one another in halacha in a way that's appropriate. Okay, we'll stop there.